سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. وبعد السلام عليكم, my brothers and sisters in Islam. My name is Muhammad Awad. I'm an Nigerian from Nigeria, indigent of Niger State, Edati local government, Niger State, a village called Go inside Edati local government. That is why I'm from that mountain, that's my village. I'm in Iviva tribe. This is my number 25 video. So I come to this Lagos not to find something living. So I'm living inside Lagos in our area. Lagos in our area. I'm Lagos. So every time when you come to that mall, that's why I find me, that's why I'm living. My business is selling sponsors, that's what I'm selling. So today's topic is about the best part of the Holy Quran, about Salat entirely, explanation of Salat from the start to the end, about a Salat, how if we make, when you explain the best part of the Quran to our Muslim brothers, meaning a way that Allah chose for us in our Salat, they come to the question that when the Imam make a mistake or something happen in that Salat, how can we be able to correct it? How can we be able to adjust it? So I will explain it. And then this about Salat that you are seeing, when you go to my number 1 audio disc, number 2 audio disc, you'll find full explanation of Salat from starting to the end. Full explanation of Salat from starting to the end, where Allah command us to perform Salat in the whole Quran. And then when you go to my number 133 discs, you find full explanation of it. Many places in my discs, you find full explanation of Salat, how Allah command us to perform Salat. So you see, this Salat that you are seeing, that Allah command us to perform, first and first, Allah give us, choose a way in between for us in our Salat, meaning the best part of the whole one. So it is a warning. I'm saying warn the Muslim of the whole world. Follow the best part of the Quran in your Salat, in fasting, in judgment, and in all activities. Adjust your voice when you come to perform Salat. You follow a way between. Adjust your voice. And then this best part of the Quran, you see when we go to Zumar chapter 1, verse 18 and verse 5. Verse 18 said, الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون الحسن أولئك هداهم الله وأولئك هم أولو الألباب. Those who listen to a word and follow the best part thereof, then those are whom Allah has rightly guided, and then those are men of understanding. You see, Allah talk of best part, meaning the whole one has part. That's where you know that the whole one has part. Then here in Surah Zumar, the same surah, verse chapter 1, verse 5 said, وَاتَّبِعُوا أَحْسَنَ مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكُم مِّن رَّبِّكُم مِّن قَبْلِ أَن يَأْتِيَكُمُ الْعَذَابُ بَغْتَةً وَأَنتُمْ لَا تَشْعُرُونَ. And follow the best part of that, which is sent out to you from Allah. Before the punishment comes to you suddenly, why present them? You see, Allah mentioned the best part, meaning the whole Quran has part. That's why you know that the whole Quran has part. Then, when we go to Surah Al-Isra, in chapter 71, verse 1 and 6, and 110, verse 1 and 6 said, وَقُرْآنًا فَرَّقْنَا لِتَقْرَأَهُ عَلَى النَّاسِ عَلَى الْمُكْثِ وَنَزَّلْنَاهُ تَنزِيلًا. And it is a Quran in which we have divided into part, in order that my recite is made at interval. And then we have recited into 3 years. So Allah said that we have divided the whole Quran into parts. Then let us discover how many parts the Quran has been divided. How many parts Allah said divided the Quran. Then again in the same surah, chapter 17 of the Quran, verse 1 and 10 said, قُلِ ادْعُوا اللَّهَ وَاعْبُدُوا الرَّحْمَنَ أَيَّمَا تَدْعُوا لَهُ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى وَلَا تَجْهَرْ بِصَلَاتِكَ وَلَا تُخَافِتْ بِهَا وَابْتَغِ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا. You say, call Allah or call Ar-Rahmani. By whatever name you call him, say, for him belong the Muslim. Then the first command Allah said, وَلَا تَجْهَرْ بِصَلَاتِكَ. Neither loud as Salat, meaning the loud as Salat. You see, that is the first part of Quran. Then the second command says, وَلَا تُخَافِتْ بِهَا. You hide it, meaning don't hide the Salat. You see, that's the second part of Quran. Then the third command says, وَابْتَغِ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا. But follow a way between. You see, that is third part of Quran. So see, this is where the whole Quran divided into 3 parts. This is where Allah said divide the whole Quran into 3 parts. The first command Allah said, وَلَا تَجْهَرْ بِصَلَاتِكَ. Don't loud the Salat. وَلَا تُخَافِتْ بِهَا. Don't hide the Salat. وَابْتَغِ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا. But follow a way between. You see, that is the third part of Quran. So you see, it's like for you to tell your brother that don't do this, but do this. Allah explained everything in detail for us with full explanation. The first one also said, وَلَا تَجْهَرْ بِصَلَاتِكَ. Don't loud the Salat. You see, that is the first one. وَلَا تُخَافِتْ بِهَا. Don't hide the Salat. You see, that's the second part of Quran. Then the third command says, وَابْتَغِ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا. But follow your way between. Then this way between is for you to adjust your voice, meaning you will neither longer hide it on your Salat. Unless somebody come closer to you, you will hear it as if this particular person is reciting. Your recitation will be like this, which is Alhamdulillah. You see, I didn't allow the height. I didn't allow the other height. I didn't allow the other height. Unless somebody come closer to you, you see as if you are reciting, as if this particular person is reciting. Then that is a third one. That is the way between. That's what Allah searches for. Then all your salat, since start from salat to sway, salat to rule, salat to asr, salat to maghrib, salat to shashifai, and water nafilat has been on. All your salat, all your tasbah, in some way you follow and do the meaning you will neither allow the hadith. All your salat, because when you finish salat, that's the time that you perform tasbah. When you finish salat, that's the time that you perform du'a'i. All your salat, all your tasbah, all your du'a'i is the same way you follow and do them. You will adjust your voice, meaning you will neither allow the hadith. You will neither allow the hadith. That is not one. That's way between. That's what the choose for us. Then this way between, way that's choose for us for you to know that it's a way of Almighty Allah. There's no doubt in that. You see, when we go Surah Al-Anfal chapter 8 or 1 verse 24 saying, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu istajibu lillahi wa lirasulihi idha da'akum lima yuhyikum wa alamu anna Allaha yakhinu bayna al-mar'i wa qalbihi wa annahu ilayhi tusharun. He say, oh, you who believe, answer Allah and His Messenger when He called it to that which is you will like, and know that Allah come in between person and side, and then to Him shall run. You say, wa alamu anna Allaha yakhinu bayna al-mar'i wa qalbihi, and know that Allah come in between person and side. And know that Allah come in between. Then He give us command in Surah Al-Isra chapter 1 verse 1 and 10 verse but follow a way between. Allah come in between and then He give us command to follow a way between. So you see, a way between is a way of Almighty Allah. There's no doubt in that. Then all is Salah, since from Salah, the all is Salah, all is Tawbah, all is Dua, the same way you follow and do that, meaning you will neither allow nor hide it. You will neither allow it nor hide it. Then this is a way between. That's the way of Almighty Allah. Then the name of the way between of Almighty Allah, that is best one. And then when we go to Surah Zumar, that's what I explained. When we go to Surah Zumar chapter 39 verse 18 said, Allazina yastami'una al-qawla fayattabi'una al-ahsan, ulaika hadahumullahu wa ulaika humul albab. Those who listen to a word and follow the best part thereof, then those are whom Allah has rightly guided, and then those are men of understanding. So you see, the Holy Quran is a word of Almighty Allah. Then when you listen to the Holy Quran, then you follow a way between. You follow the best part of the Holy Quran, meaning a way between, a way of Almighty Allah. You adjust your voice in your salat, or your tasbah, or your dua. You adjust your voice. Then you follow a way between in the fasting. You follow a way between in our judgment and in all our activities. Then those are whom Allah has rightly regarded, and then those are men of understanding. Then this is a way between that you are seeing. For you to know it clearly, for it to be easy for you to understand, for it to be clear to you, you will see, look at it. I'm holding a leaf here as a sample. Now, you see, when you look at the sky, we'll start with the sky. The sky has three signs: the sign of brightness, and the sign of darkness, and the sign of when the sky is blue, blue. The sign of brightness, that is from the morning to the evening. That's a long distance hours. That take almost 12 hours. You see, that time is very wide. You see, that is fourth part of one. When the sky is with darkness, that's from the night to daybreak. That's a long distance hour. That one take almost 12 hours. That's, you see, that time is very wide. That is second part of one. But when the sky is blue, 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 that one is some minute. It's a minute. It takes some minute. You see, that time is very short. It's tiny. You see, that is third part of one. That's way between, that's what Almighty Allah. Then the name of Almighty Allah, that's first. Then that is the time that Allah command us to take our fasting and then to break our fasting. That time that Allah command us to take our fasting and to break it. And that time, that's after Salah to Subhi, when the sky is blue, blue. That time that Allah command us to stop eating, means to take our fasting. Then we break our fasting after Salat Maghrib, before Salat Isha, when the sky is blue, blue, blue. Then when the sky is blue, 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 that is third Quran. That's what Almighty Allah. Then the name of the way to Almighty Allah, that's the best one. And then that's one that's the one Allah explained in Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 187. End of the verse said, وَقُلُوا وَشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ ثُمَّ أَتِمُّوا الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. He said, eat and drink until white thread don't appear to you the same from black thread. Then break your fast in the night. The white thread that comes, the white thread don't appear to the stem from black thread. That is when the sky is blue, blue, because that time is some minute. It's a short time. The white thread that comes in between the brightness and darkness, that's when the sky is blue, blue. And then that time, that is after Salat Subhi, when the sky is blue, blue. That time that the command us to stop eating, let's take our fast. And then that time, that's after Salat Maghrib, before Salat Isha, when the sky is blue, blue. You see, it's the same time. It's the time that you take a fast, that's the same time you break a fast. And then when the sky is blue, blue, that is third one, that's what Almighty Allah. Then the name of the way to Almighty Allah, that is best for one. So you see, then also again, when we come to the leaf, you look at the leaf, the right hand side of the leaf, you see, is very wide. You see, that's first one. The left hand side of the leaf, you see, is very wide. That's number one. Then this line that comes in between the leaf, look at it, it's tiny. It's tiny. You see, that's the third one. That's what Almighty Allah. then the name of the Almighty Allah, that's first rukun. Just again, when we come to our body, the right hand side of our body is very wide, that is first rukun. The left hand side of our body is very wide, that's second rukun. Then this line that goes in between our body, you see, it's tiny. It's tiny. You see, that's the third rukun. That's weighty, that's what Almighty Allah. Then the name of the weighty of Almighty Allah, that's the first rukun. Just again, when we come to the salat, Allah said that we should adjust our voice, meaning you will not allow no hiding. So I say, when if you allow your salat, somebody from far place will be hearing you. You see, that one is a long distance. It's very wide. To the extent that today, Muslims of these days, they are using loudspeaker because somebody from far place will be hearing their recitation in salat. So when you allow your salat, Allah says, "Wala tajal salatka." Don't allow the salat. Then you went for the loudest salat. You see, when you loud the salat, somebody from far place will be hearing you. And then to the extent that Muslims think that they are using loudspeaker, you see, that one is an insult to Almighty Allah. When you use loudspeaker in salat, is an insult. Allah said that don't loud the salat. You loud it to the extent that you are using loudspeaker. You see, that's why it's an insult to Almighty Allah. So when you loud the salat, somebody from far place will be hearing you. You see, that one is a long distance. It's very wide. You see, that is first of all. Then when you hide it also, that one is very wide. When we come to the arrangement of rukun, you see, that one also, when you hide it, that also is very wide. That is second part one. But when you adjust your voice, meaning you will neither loud nor hide it, you adjust your voice. Unless somebody come closer to you, you will hear it as if this particular person is reciting. As if this particular person is reciting. You see, that one is not wide. It's tiny. It's not wide. You see, that is third one. That is the way to, that's what Almighty Allah. Then the name of the way to of Almighty Allah, that is best for one. So follow the best for one, because that's the way that Allah choose for us. This is a warning to the Muslim of the world. Then when you explain a way in between, a way for Almighty Allah, meaning the best for one for the Muslim of the world, they come with a question that they are okay when the Imam is in salat, when they are in salat in Jam'i, along with the Imam, when something happened or a mistake occurred or something happened, how can we be able to correct it? How can we be able to adjust it? So first and first, what I want to say about that, you see, Muslim that doesn't know salat. Salat is like a war. If you want to perform salat, you have to prepare yourself. Purification, you prepare yourself, your mind, you clear your mind. Salat doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. And then this proof of what I'm saying, when we got Surah An-Nasai, chapter 1, verse 8, who said, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Do they not then consider Quran carefully? Had it been from other than Allah, then surely they will have found there in many contradiction. Do they not then consider Quran carefully? Had it been from other than Allah, then surely they will have found there in many corrections. So you see, then as the whole Quran doesn't have it, and then when you look at the whole Quran, because the whole Quran is from Almighty Allah, that's why you see you don't find any correction in it. That's why you don't find any mistake in it. That's why you don't find any correction in it. Then, as the whole Quran doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. That is how the sky that Allah created doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. That's how the salat, so I give you command to perform, doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. The way the whole Quran doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction, that's how the earth that Allah created doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. That's how the salat, so I give you command to perform, doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. The way the whole Quran doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. That's how the leaves that are created doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. That's how the salat, so I give you command to perform, doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. The way the whole Quran doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. That's how you see the mountain that are created doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. That's how the salat, so I give you command to perform, doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. So when you continue going, the philosophy behind it has no end. The way the whole Quran doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction, that's how the fire that are created doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. That's how the salat, so I give you command to perform, doesn't have a mistake, talkless of correction. So when you come to perform salat, you have to prepare yourself. It's like a war. So you see, then Allah said in Surah Al-Taha, لا يضل ربي ولا ينسى. لا يضل ربي ولا ينسى. Allah doesn't make mistake, and then He doesn't forget. So you see it. Then when you come to perform salat, when you are performing salat, you along with Imam and the Jam'i, or you alone. And then that Jam'i that you are seeing, if anything happen, or Imam make a mistake, or something happen, then what you will do when you go inside the Quran, Allah Ta'ala is creating. He repeat the creation. وهو الذي يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created and then He repeated. He created and then He repeated. So what you will do immediately when you are performing salat in Jam'i, whether you are alone, then, and then mistake occurred in that salat, or forget, or something like that, then you repeat it. If it is a verse you are reciting in the salat, then what you do, you repeat that verse. Whether the imam, whether the one at the back, you repeat that verse. But this salat that you are seeing, salat of away between, meaning the best one follow away between, unless when you come closer to person, the particular person, that's why you hear as if it's reciting. As if it's reciting, that's how it is. So when you look at it, when we go to Surah Al-Taha, chapter 20, when we go to Surah Al-Maryam, chapter 19 of Quran, verse 94 said, وَكُلُّهُمْ آتِيهِمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فَرْدًا. Each one of you will come to Allah alone on the day of resurrection without defender, no protector, no helper. Each one of them will come to, each one of you will come to Allah alone on the day of resurrection without defender, no protector, no helper. Anyone will go to Allah alone. So when you come to perform salat, when the imam is reciting, you also at the back will be reciting. If the imam say Allahu Akbar, you at the back will say Allahu Akbar. When the imam go to ruku, you at the back will say Allahu Akbar and they go to ruku. When the imam rises from ruku, you rise up from ruku. So you see, anything. So when the imam is reciting, also you at the back will be reciting. And then this reciting, each one of you will follow a way in between. When you look at it, the imam is performing here, also you at the back, each one of you at the back will perform here. When the imam says Assalamu alaikum, each one of you at the back will say Assalamu alaikum. You see, because of what Allah said in this verse. Each one of you will come to Allah alone on the day of resurrection without a vendor or protector or help. So the way you come to this world alone, that's how you go and meet Allah alone. And then that's why you see when Imam is saying Allahu Akbar, each one of you at the back will say Allahu Akbar. When the Imam says Assalamu alaikum, each one of you at the back will say Assalamu alaikum. So when the Imam is reciting, adjusts his voice, he's reciting, follow a way between, each one of you at the back will follow a way between, adjust his voice, be reciting. That is how the salat is. So now here, when the Imam make mistake, you see, unless when you come closer to him, that's where you will hear him. So what you do, Allah repeat the creation, Allah creates and then He repeat after. وَهُوَ الَّذِي يَبْدَأُ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ يُعِيدُهُ. What is in Surah Al-Naml, chapter 27, verse 4. وَهُوَ الَّذِي يَبْدَأُ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ يُعِيدُهُ ثُمَّ يَرْزُقُكُم مِّنَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. السماء والأرض أإله مع الله قل هاتوا برهانكم إن كنتم صادقين أإله مع الله. So see, Allah is one that created and then He repeat after. So here now look at it. So when Imam make mistake in reciting in salat, when he is reciting and then he make mistake, you see, unless when you come closer to him, because he has adjusted his voice, he follow away between. So when he make mistake, you at the back will not hear. You will not hear because he has adjusted his voice. Unless when you come closer to him, that time that you hear that as if this particular person is reciting. So at that particular time, when he make mistake, if it is in verse or in surah, what that imam will do, or each one of you at the back that is reciting also, what you do, you will repeat that verse, or that surah, or that verse. You repeat it. You will repeat it. When the imam make a mistake in verse or surah, when he recites surah or verse, then what he will do, he will repeat that surah or that verse. He will recite it from Saturday again. Before he reaches the end, maybe Allah will remind him where he forget. But if he didn't remember, you will still repeat that verse again. If you repeat it 3 times, the way the whole one divided into 3 parts, and then he still make a mistake or he forget, then that one he will now leave it. You will now leave it like that. Then what he will do, he will now stop there at that verse, or that, at that surah, or that verse. Anyway, you stop there and then go to ruku'u, sujudi, and then finish that salat. You see, there's not a mistake. There's not any mistake. Talk less of correction there. There's no any mistake. Talk less of correction there. This one that I'm explaining, when you go to my audio discs, number 1 disc, number 2 disc, there's full explanation of salat, about salat, from starting to the end. And then Quran, number 133 discs, you find full explanation of salat. Then as well again, when the imam make a mistake, a ruku or sujudi, or you people at the back make, when the imam make a mistake, a ruku or sujudi, you see, what he would do, first and first, what he would do, he will repeat that salat of jam'i. You will repeat it from the start to the end. Before we talk of sujood al-qabli, sujood al-ba'di, the salat, meaning salat is a war. Before we talk of sujood al-qabli, sujood al-ba'di, meaning they have to repeat that salat 3 times. The salat of jam'i, they have to repeat it 3 times. When they repeat it, when the imam make mistake, either in ruku or sujudi, that will make him to do sujood al-qabli or sujood al-ba'di, what he will do, he will repeat that that salat of them entirely. They will repeat it from the start to the end. If that one still occur, then they will still repeat that salat. If that one still occur, then they will repeat that salat. Then if that one, if they repeat it 3 times, the way the Quran divided into 3 parts, the way Allah said divided the Quran into 3 parts, then they will not stop there. What they will take, and then at that part, that time that they will start thinking about the sujood al-qabli and sujood al-ba'di, how to do sujood al-qabli and sujood al-ba'di. But you, Muslim of the whole world, you will never allow to put an imam in the front that doesn't prepare for salat. Does it? You will never allow an imam to enter a front who did not prepare for performing salat. To the extent that he will make a mistake up to 3 times. The way the Quran divided into 3 parts. You will never allow it. Because all the messengers that come before, they never allow that one happen. So what you do, you will repeat that salat of jam'i. When you make it, when the imam make a mistake that will make him to do sujood al-qabli or sujood al-ba'di, then what you do, that salat entirely you have to repeat it. Because salat doesn't have a mistake, reckless of correction. So to perform salat is a war. So that's what they do. They will repeat the salat from the start to the end. If that one still occurred, the imam said make a mistake in sujudi, in ruku or sujudi, that will make him do sujood al-qabli or sujood al-ba'di. What do they? They will still repeat the salat from the start to the end. Maybe before they reach end, Allah might remind it where they forget. But they didn't remember. You see that's the same thing still happen. They'll still repeat that salat. If they repeat it 3 times, the way the whole Quran divided into 3 parts, then from there they will not stop there. They will not leave rest with Allah because they have repeated that salat 3 times, the way the whole Quran divided into 3 parts. But still the same thing has happened. So that time they will not leave it to Allah. What they will do from there, they will start thinking of sujood, how to perform sujood al-qabli and sujood al-ba'di. And then that one when you go to my number 8 dicks, I explain about it. Number 1 dicks, number 2 dicks, number 8 dicks, number 130 dicks. Number 133 dicks. Many places in my cassette. I explain about that. So you see it. So this is how it would. This is how it be. So it is hard for you to perform sujood al-qabli and sujood al-ba'di. Not the way that the Muslims of this area do it. Immediately when they finish, when an imam make a mistake in salat, they will just go to sujood al-qabli and sujood al-ba'di. Salat is a war because when you think of it, salat doesn't have a mistake, reckless of correction. You yourself that Allah created, the way the whole Quran doesn't have a mistake, reckless of correction. That's how your body that's created for you doesn't have a mistake, reckless of correction. That's how the salat that's give you command to perform doesn't have a mistake, reckless of correction. So when you come to perform salat, you have to prepare yourself. It's like a war. It's like a war. You have to prepare yourself. So before perform when you make a mistake in salah, not the way the Muslims immediately when they make mistake in salah or something occurred, they will just go to, if it's Sunnah Qabli, they will go to Sunnah Qabli. If it's Sunnah Badi, that one is not. That one is not. Before you do that, you have to repeat that salah 3 times. If it's salah jami, you have to repeat it 3 times along with imam. 3 times the word Quran. If you repeat it 3 times, and then the same thing happen, then that's the time that you go to sujood. You start thinking of how to go to sujood Qabli and sujood Badi. So this is it. Because salah doesn't have a mistake. Talk less of correction. The way the Quran. La yadullu rabbi wa la yansa. Salah doesn't have a mistake. Talk less of correction. When you go to my cassette audio discs, you'll find the full explanation of it. And then you listen to it carefully. So this is it. This is how salah is in the Holy Quran. Then, so is it, and that's that you. Then the way the Muslims this are doing, when they are performing salat, you see him at the front, he has already loud it. Allah said, "Wala tujasaraka, don't loud the salat." He went for a loud the salat. Then, if he make a mistake, then the one at the back, he said that is correcting him. That's why, because he have already heard what he's reciting. That's why he's trying to correct. Look at it. When you look at the first command, Allah said, "Wala tujasaraka, don't loud the salat." He went for and allowed it, and then when he make a mistake, then the one at the back will say that you correct it. Then you at the back, if you open your mouth say that you are corrected, the one at the front. It's like you have exceeded the limit which Allah has set for you. So when you look at that word entirely from the starting to the end, it is not the command of Almighty Allah they are following. Allah said, "Wala tujasaraka, don't loud the salat." You went for that allowed it, and then when you make a mistake, the one at the back, that's where he has already heard you. At that particular time, you say that you correct it. But when you follow away between him, unless that particular person come closer to you as if this particular person is reciting, and then him imam when he is reciting, you also what each of you at the back will be reciting. Will be recited because of the verse in Surah Al-Maryam, chapter 19, verse 94 said, وَكُلُّهُمْ آتِيكِ بِيَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فَرْدًا. Each one of you will come to Allah alone on the day of Judgment without defender, no protector, no helper. You will come alone. So that's why, and then that's the reason why when the Imam say Allahu Akbar, each one of you at the back will say Allahu Akbar. When the Imam go to Ruku, each one of you go to Ruku. When the Imam is reciting, each one of you will be reciting. When the Imam is go to Ruku, each one of you go to Ruku. When the Imam rise up from Ruku, each one of you rise up from Ruku. When the Imam sit for Tahiyya, perform Tahiyya, each one of you will sit for perform Tahiyya. When the Imam says Salaam Alaikum, each one of you will say Salaam Alaikum. That's it. That's it. And then you follow away between you adjust your voice. Meaning you will neither loud nor hide. Then when you finish salat, immediately when you finish salat, then Allah said, give us command in Surah Al-Jum'ah, chapter 60. Surah Al-Jum'ah, verse 10 said, فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةِ فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. When your salat is ended, then disperse, separate, scatter one in the land. Disperse, separate, scatter one in the land. If you like, you can take yourself to your house and find a comfortable place and sit down. Then from there, the verse said, then you seek the bounty of Allah, meaning you perform tasbih. Subhanallah, 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 subhanallah. And then you remember Allah so much, la'allakum tuflihun, as where you are sitting alone, you remember Allah so much there. La'allakum tuflihun, where there you may be successful. This is the excellent reason of building the army in Islam, because this is the excellent reason of building the army in Islam, because building army in Islam, they are the one that will make sure that this command of Almighty Allah, they follow it, they do it exactly the way Allah said inside the Quran. This is an excellent reason of building the army in Islam. And then when you go to my number, and then that's what Prophet Sulaiman Islam did, which is when you go to Surah Al-Naml, chapter 27, verse 17 said, وَقُشْرَ سُلَيْمَانَ جُنُودُهُ مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ وَالطَّيْرِ فَهُمْ يُوذَوْنَ. And they were gathered before Prophet Sulaiman, his soldiers, jinns and men, and they were marching forward battle. And then that is the wisdom Allah said, give it to me. I also build the army in Islam. And then when you go to my number 4 cassette, number 6 cassette, number 130 cassette, number 64 cassette, number 65 cassette, number 130 cassette, number 192 cassette, number 208 cassette, when you go to my cassette, audio discs, you'll find full explanation of it. Build the army in Islam. They are the one that will make sure that Salah, they perform it exactly the way the Quran commentary, you Allah said. Command of Almighty Allah entirely the way in between, meaning the best one, they make sure that the Muslim of the whole world follow the best one. do the command Almighty the way He wanted, how He wanted, exactly the way He wanted. So I think that's why I'm going to say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.